stall to the late, find a distraction, and then bounce back. Speaking of bouncing back into the draft we go for game number 2 for the Kings. RRQ Hoshi and SRG, who will be able to move forward. Will it be RRQ Hoshi trying to even out the series, or will it be 2-0 from SRG?
Okay, so RQ this time once again takes first pick, which is pretty still out of comfort zone for them usually. It's been their losing side most of the time, but I think the big switch up here is if SRG leaves the Bruno open, they take the Bruno this time.
I think that would be the case.
They definitely take the Bruno this time, and then if SRG, maybe trying to bait SRG to pick up the Suyo so they can get the Joy, but I think first picking Suyo is no longer meta in draft. Like, I don't think it loses a lot. The blue Yo's losing a lot right now.
No, I feel like it's because of the existence of the Joy. That's why people are really considering it. Like, again, Suyo is an amazing hero, but if the Joy is open, like if you ban
Joy,
then you're good. That's good. That is good. Exactly.
It's going to be interesting though, because if RRQ takes the Bruno, that's a gamble SRG is willing to take. I mean, that's why they leave it open with being on second pick. Coach Arcadia himself said that he had no real worry about it just due to proper planning. So RRQ Hoshi will be taking up that Bruno this time around. Will that make a difference?
That's the proper planning right there. It's like, we're going to pick it. That's the proper planning.
So they should be the Joy, or they might have something else.
I think you third pick jungle, because if you pick Joy, RRQ could still go the Fred, right? They can still pick up the Fred to deal with the Joy. So now our SRG's in this place where I don't think we want to show our jungle pick right away.
I don't know. I feel Joy Louis for some reason.
Joy Louis?
I say Joy still, because even the last game there was multiple counters to the Joy, and he was still able to get the job done. So I feel like that's a gamble. I feel like with SRG, they're not really too worried about the hard counters as often, and they just want to find a way around it. So I do think maybe the Joy blocks. The Lu Yi would be very interesting. The Suyo!
Wow. After we talked about how good the Joy against the Suyo is this a bait?
I was saying RQ's trying to bait them into Suyo maybe by picking the Bruno first, but I'm still a little surprised by it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Suyo can be good as long as you're willing to finish. Like, you have to get that lead immediately, which hasn't been SRG's shining zone, you know, and RQ immediately responds, takes the Joy as the counter, gets the glue as well. So right now RQ's looking clean.
Looking at draft here, looks like they're switching sides, where RQ this time they have the Joy and they have the Bruno. What, after this RQ will pick up the Farsa?
The Farsa.
And then Stormy is the one picking up the Odette?
I don't know.
This is definitely a swing that I didn't expect, right? RRQ Hoshi now with this Joy definitely can make that lean in their favor. We don't really see anything to really stop it in his track so far. I mean, maybe the Bellerin comes out. Maybe the Tig comes out. Definitely some viable options. Maybe even locking in that Granger here could be a wise decision, because they need an answer for this Bruno.
We'll find a way.
I think we're going to end up seeing and since he's not going to pick his marksman here, big chance RQ bans out the Granger. Do we think SRG goes for the innocent Moskov pick here towards the end? It could be a possibility depending on what marksmen get banned out. And just to some comfortability, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, it makes sense. Once the Joy comes in, at least you can peel for yourself, right?
Well, they have an answer to the glue, picking up this Vexana, so they're not too worried about that. But yeah, the Moskov can definitely be a wise play. The Beatrix still up for grabs as well. Maybe limiting some of the gold lane potential maybe on the board for RRQ Hoshi to deny Innocent getting comfortable. I mean, we've been seeing Skylar scale better in the early phase, right? He's just been having a little bit of an easier time, whereas that rubber band effect kind of works more for Innocent as the later the game goes. Cram and Yumes are able to find the opportunity. So maybe even giving something to Cram to create that double dive composition that we're used to seeing to capitalize on the mistakes could be what they're looking for the second half of the draft.
I think Cram still gets this Gatot. I think in the end, Gatot goes over to Cram here, which gives them that dive that you want, and it worked very well last game. If RQ doesn't ban it, there's still a chip open, which is kind of, you know, a backhand strategy, something they could fall into. The Lu Yi's still open, and then Marksman, and that's where RQ's at right now. It's like, do we go full into Marksman? I think they definitely probably get rid of the Granger. They take out the chip option, so that's off the map. Maybe they just get rid of any map displacement options and just go into the Lu Yi as well.
I think the Lu Yi would be a good pickup here, right? I mean, definitely could affect the Skatat, the Suyo, and even the Vexana. I wonder if SRG will be able to sniff that one out. We still got to see what the gold lane matchup is going to be as well up against this Bruno. Now, are we seeing the Hylos still up for grabs? Could be something that SRG goes in for, especially on this XP lane matchup or Rome matchup that we're going to be seeing moving forward. Maybe even the Belleric could be coming out here.
Belleric's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. SRG's going to get first pick here, so I don't think they slot in gold lane right away. I think most likely they go Rome and then into gold lane as their final pick, just to get as maximum possibility counter, know exactly what they're going to be up against. RQ on their last ban. They might leave the Granger. It's definitely a possibility.
If they banned the chip, they banned the Guinevere before. The TIG is open as well. I wouldn't say that it was that big of a problem in the previous match. It looks like they're batting out the Belleric. They're more worried about the Belleric, the matchup against the Joy. Now, SRG, they can pick up the Granger now because here's the thing. If they don't pick up the Granger now, that's a bit sus. That makes it sound like they have a different answer for this Bruno. Perhaps they figured out, because here's the thing. SRG,
vengeance incarnate.
Now they pick out the Moscow, because here's the thing. SRG is the one that said Granger is the counter towards Bruno.
Yeah.
But our problem is we can't close games with it. So
you know what you can close games with?
a
Innocence Moscow.
Oh yeah, that's the maniac there. That's the half man, half beast.
Now the last question is the final pickup for SRG with the Gatot. Do they go something like the Hylos to lock this in? For the side of RRQ though, I mean, with the Granger, or with the Bruno and the Moskov matchups, definitely going to be interesting. You're going to have to watch out for the split push. That Spear of Destruction puts a lot of mobility into the hands of SRG, but they have some answers to get to that backline, right? You still have this Joy, and there isn't the Belleric to really stop in his tracks. Kadita, though.
Kadita? Okay, the Khalid makes sense. I think the Khalid is a good pick against SRG, but the Kadita, though.
RQ picked this once before in Wildcard. I mean, in Swiss Stage. I can't remember whether it won or lost, but it has been picked up one time by RQ. It might have been picked up by other teams, but I know RQ has. This has been a fallback. It is not Rome Kadita. It is mid Kadita.
Unless they want to pull a Warlord and mid Khalid.
Mid Khalid and Rome Kadita. I mean, it's possible, right?
Either
Either one.
one.
Either one doesn't belong there.
As long as Khalid is somewhere around mid, the damage is going to be good enough to stop the movements from Selangor Red Giants. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from RQ.
It's funny because Renz is just digging deep in his bag right now with these picks, right? You see the Odette, and now you get to see a potential Kadita in the mix, and there goes the Guinevere to wrap things up for SRG. How are we feeling about it?
First of all, it is Kadita mid. So let's not get too excited.
Yeah, it's Kadita.
It's Kadita mid.
Who's the Gwen gonna catch though? That's a lot of hard targets to find.
Hey, with the right mindset, you can catch all of them. Thank you very much to our panelists, and Marco, Leo, you guys ready for this one?
We're more than ready. We're looking forward to that Kadita coming through. 60% of the time, it works every time.
50% win rate is the win rate we have right now.
Close.
2 times it was picked up already in the Swiss stage, I believe. Yeah, no knockout stage appearance, so this is the debut of Mrs. Kadita on the world stage knockouts.
That is the Indonesian siren conquering the seas against SRG, who came back in game 1 and now are once again deploying Hume's Guinevere, which came at the bane of NIP Flash last night. Here we go. Game number 2, into the battlefield we go. And I gotta tell you now, when RRQ are up against the ropes like this, when they lose a game like that, something tells me it's a download situation. You remember TLID?
Yeah, I remember Twisted Minds as well in the Swiss stage. So yeah, RQ definitely have a pattern. Every single time they're down one game, it seems like, you know, they take in all the mistakes they made in game 1. But I would say the same thing about SRG. Even when they win, they learn so much from their opponents. And I think they have also downloaded a lot from RRQ, especially in the early game. Petrify, Breath of the Ocean, Rinse trying to go for the kill. One more. Almost kill pressure. Oh, the fadeaway. Just one splash of water. Yums took the orange buff. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but just the same, you have blamed Yums. He did his best, he tried.
It's either survive Orange buff or die no orange buff.
It's bad for SRG.
It's bad.
Either way, which puts RRQ Hoshi now up by about 500 gold. Turtle spawning in the lower quarter of the map. So that is where these two teams are looking to post up about 30 seconds from now.
That's a Master Assassin. Oh, spatial migration over to Dyron. It's a crab. That's a stun too. Severed soul in the Curse Blast. Now electrified
God!
From Sutsujin. Oh, what is that damage? Just
One
the breath of the
more!
ocean from Rins.
Let him go. Real quick, a look at the emblems there explains why Yums got away with it. But just the same, that concussive blast is also what took away the orange from Sikais. Now top lane 1v1, Innocent versus Skylar.
Whoa, Skylar wants to go in. Actually ends up evening the trade out. Spatial migration cancelled by the Petrify.
Yums taken out here by the Mercenary. He wants one more.
Electrifying beats the dance of Sutsujin as he claims that kill, and it sets up perfectly for the first turtle.
Clean for the King of Kings. This will propel them forward up by about 1,000 and change now. 2 minutes in. Sutsujin clean with a take, and maybe the small camp, why not?
Just invading. Didn't need to use the retribution, so you can actually just go in, get a very, very safe invade, a bit more of a lead. And now it's just deja vu, right? I think for the most part, both SRG and RRQ find themselves in this situation in most of their games. RRQ are always leading at the start, but then lose out control. SRG are always down in the early game, but somehow manage to gain control in the mid game.
A very templated approach by RRQ Hoshi. Patterns upon patterns you see. And I'm pretty sure Kezcute has drilled it into their minds. He brought out the blueprint, laid it out and said, this is what you did last game, do it better. And what better start could you ask for? A turtle, a compromised orange, 3 kills on the Mercenary, and now look at this Edok pushing back to Yums and Sikais.
Do it better doesn't even cut it anymore, you know? That was an M5 thing. You gotta do it greater in M6.
Than ever.
Than ever.
Game never over. I mean, that is just one game that they dropped the ball on. And again, the only real L is when you don't learn. And so far, I think the fact that they're pushing the tempo, speeding it up, putting Rins on a hero that can pick off easy targets, Innocent, Stormy. I'll tell you now, even Sikai's come to mid-game, he's gonna hurt.
Definitely. Does seem like right now, I mean, I'm paying attention into this gold lane matchup. It does seem like in this game, Edok is paying more attention to Skylar than they did in the previous one, right? Despite the fact that Granger was winning the matchup. I think now they're thinking, okay, we got a Bruno up against a Moskov. Even if we get to mid-game, late-game together, if they scale up properly, Bruno should still have the edge.
That's right. So by sending Edok over there, they protect the early game, they secure the mid game, and then the inevitable late game.
Yep.
Bruno is, I want to say infinitely scaling, but when you put it...
Basically.
It's almost there. Especially if your opponent has to start juggling Winter Crowns, Wind of Natures, and maybe Innocent doesn't even walk away with, oh, Yums jumping in, thump through, forcing Rins to skip him as well. Turtle here, now began the dance, there's a knock-up.
Dyron with time, pass. Good revitalize. Stormy will be taken down by Edok. Rins caught in the bad spot. Cram trying to go for the chase, but it will just be a pick onto Stormy and then neutral objective for RRQ Hoshi.
It's a man down for the Giants as RRQ Hoshi go ahead to barrel away at the Turtle. 2,000 gold ahead. Turtle soup on the menu here for the King of Kings.
There you go. Another neutral objective without the retribution for Sutsujin. A clean and simple take through a fight. It's always about catching your opponents before the fight. And SRG, I think they're now finally understanding the pattern. Skylar, though, wants to continue to push up top against Innocent. He has to be careful. He has to purify. No, doesn't even need it. Dashes away from the spatial migration.
Slide tackle, so useful as a tool. Engaging, disengaging.
Okay.
Stormy spots one, Rins.
No.
Oh no, he gets caught.
Raging Sandstorm Rins, pops in a rough wave just in time. Cram looking for it, goes in for the Tom, but it's only onto the back. SOD connecting as well. That's Innocent with the Spear of Misery. Rins still able to survive.
Cram here, down to a fifth of his health. In comes the EG. Stormy disengages.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sutsujin is having a little bit of a dance with Innocent and Skies. Innocent sent down below, and they will have to concede this turret structure over to RRQ Hoshi in the 5th minute of the game. Skylar has just been so impressive on this Bruno.
Basically, that's what this 3,000 gold lead buys for RRQ Hoshi. The fact that they can send one, oh, Stormy pushed back by Spear Misery. See, this is the situation that I'm talking about. The fact that you're so far ahead, Rins, popping, Innocent, full combo.
Rough waves from Rins. No Purify, they baited it out earlier. Sutsujin trying to bait out that spatial migration again. Great read on the spatial migration. And now Dyron's coming by.
Oh no.
Yes, Violet Requiem. But the Breath of the Ocean connects. Now the slam and the pass. Won't be able to connect Yums. Can he get out of the situation? Yes, he can. Cold Yums. Staying composed.
Hey, if Rins had that combo, my Malaysian goat would have been cooked.
Is Yums your Malaysian goat?
Yes, he is.
I see.
Who else would be?
I don't know. Skies? Nah, I think Yums has been there longer. I agree.
The Sky Prince, though, we got to talk about his performance. 0-2 right now, 5-6 minutes in to game number 2. I think all the critics, all the pundits, all the analysts online are saying this is not the same Sekais, but wait, they're looking to get one here. Oh no, the knockup!
The Valor Requiem 2 and the AOG connects. Rins goes with the rough waves. It'll be a trade. Edok taken down. Now Cram's gonna be next on the top. And Blue! A lot of turnaround damage. SRG are looking to capitalize.
The king needs to go. Dyron puts himself in the middle of the Monarch, and the rest of them down goes Innocent. The Mercenary takes him down off cam.
It becomes a 2 for 2. Skies gets a double. They're on the neutral objective. Skylar wants some smoke. Goes over to Cram. Slide tackle forward. Oh! Almost a goal. Almost.
Can they get it?
So Tsujin baiting it out. Now walking forward. An assassination from the Mercenary.
He had his mark and he found it. The Mage Prodigy could not go anywhere. He committed everything. And now Cram staying alive.
Barely. Just barely staying alive there. Uh-oh, Skies. He didn't use a Retribution. He should still be able to contest this, but I don't know if he should. Edok's walking up, and Sutsujin will be the one to claim the purple buff. What's the term?
Grand Theft Purple, baby. He is guilty. 3,000 gold ahead. It's the same story as game number 1. SRG, if you ask me, I think this lineup right here, it might actually be built better to come back.
Yeah.
I actually like it. The chances of this lineup coming back compared to game 1 is better. But watching this game, 8 minutes in, RRQ Hoshi are going faster. So will they even find that window?
I think it's a great point you brought out. SRG, they have a better comeback composition. But I could say the same thing about RRQ. They have fixed on the errors that they had in game 1. They have a better snowball composition.
Yep.
If they get the lead that they got in game 1,
Which they're working to.
very, very close to getting, I would say, in this moment of the game, right? 8 minutes, we saw a very similar amount of gold lead. Petrify! Oh, rough waves again! Innocent didn't even get the Purify out!
And now Yums pushed back. No dice for SRG.
Yikes!
That's what we're talking about. The Rins played the Odette prior, and now that it's the Kadira, who by the way just picked up the concealed boots, AOG coming through, Rins might get punished!
And he will ready set time! Edok! Finding Stormy in the backslashing him, and Skylar would just go with the balls, with the Haas Claws as well. Now Cram mounted up.
And now, Innocent, Spear of Destruction coming through, down goes the King!
Innocent in the midst of it all, Diamond going for slam, Innocent with a blink again, Diamond not able to get the mobility, so Tsujin walking up, Skies with a stun, only onto Dyron. Electrifying beats as Innocent gets mounted up, both going for the wrong or different targets. Skies in the bottom lane, juking away from Sutsujin.
Run, Sky Prince, run! One more! The shutdown by the Mercenary!
Oh, Dyron's got to be careful though. He chased a bit far. Spatial migration from Yums, and Dyron just Inibanchanas it up.
Oh my lord. The Lord spawns here, upper quarter. About 9 minutes and a half into game number 2. The fact that RRQ Hoshi are now finishing what they start and they find their marks. Another one for Rins! Stormy goes, let me finish my sentence.
Kila Rins! It's very deja vu to the previous Kadita gods.
He follows a lineage of amazing Indonesian talents, and now on behalf of the King of Kings, he's looking to right the wrongs of game number 1. Even the orange here, Sekais is struggling to secure.
The orange buff taken away, Sky's not able or didn't need to go for the Retribution. And RRQ against Skylar, what is he looking out? He's looking at 3 items, almost 4, actually just 2 components too. So he's building up to be a beast. That's a concentrated energy for Sutsujin. So wants a bit more sustain in these skirmishes. Knows SRG can actually still threaten him in a lot of these dives.
RRQ Hoshi knows that they're sharing the core role. There's 3 main damage dealers on their lineup, and that should lead to more than just an inhibitor shield pop in here. Oh no, Cram's in trouble.
AOG defensively in the back. Rins again jumps into the rough waves and a petrify, but it only connects on the Yomes. Now the SOD to the back. Do they take it? That's a spatial migration. And Innocent's there. Edok walking up.
And they push back. The rest is super. Team and SRG pushing back on RRQ as well. No one goes except Iron.
It's just Innocent, man. He's always on point. It doesn't matter that you've shut him down 3 times, Leo. 2 and 3, now he's building back.
Current net lead for his team at least. Number 3 overall. That's 7.8K on Innocent. Currently has the Trinity, but just the Trinity. Halfway through a rose gold dog. So that should help him against Susujin, should help him against Rins. But the truth be told, that's just an extra layer of protection, because once Innocent finds a window, you've seen it happen at least once or twice in this 12-minute game, he will SOD into the thick of it.
Okay. Cram? Yeah, RRQ Hoshi actually don't want to go in on that. I'm going to take a look at the items. Actually, Blade Armor and the Thunderbelt, those are the only 2 items that Edok has right now. He's building towards what I assume to be an Athena shield up against this burst of SRG. But yeah, these targets are still very squishy, right? Because I think Edok has more ways to deal with the Moskov, but now we definitely know why Dairon's been taken down 3 times.
Yep.
It's because he just doesn't have enough physical defense yet.
He's on his way to a Blade Armor, so that should spell disaster for Innocent. Even Sekai has to watch out for it once he, flicker splits, which he, by the way, has right now. I think they're all just posting up for this Lord spawning in the lower quarter. That's still about 5,000, 6,000 gold. Edok spots Cram, push him out of bush. I wonder if he knows. Not gonna fall for it. That bush set up by SRG.
Could have been a Kumar moment right there, Mr.
Massive.
Leo.
Could have joined that long list of Kumars building.
Started
year
off
after
with
year.
the M5 World Championship Grand Finals.
Yeah. What is that currently? Like 6 or 7 dudes on that list.
I lost count, if I'm being honest with you, but Lord will be spawning back in the game. This is the second Lord of the game, an enhanced Lord, 13 minutes in. And I don't know, do SRG want to contest? I think they have enough tools to actually deal with this Lord still, but do you want to play that gamble?
I mean, we've seen them come back from much worse, right? Game number 1 was a 9,000 gold lead. Here at just 5,000, and again, a more comebackable lineup. It should be fine. Look at this from afar. Stormy gets caught by Rins, the full combo. And now Dairon putting Yums here into the grasp.
Oh, good flicker from Yomes to cancel the slam, or the pass, bring back. And it will just be the Lord for RRQ Hoshi. Man, Rins has been on point.
That last update on Kadira, the force swing, the backswing reduction time, making that combo all the more elusive, cutting sentences, starting fights from out of nowhere. Stormy couldn't even flicker away. Look at that, 5 kills so far. 4 of those were off of Rins.
Yeah, and okay. I thought Stormy got tough boots for the tenacity, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Enhanced Lord of the mid lane will be able to break the base turret. Raging Sandstorm from Edok.
In the thick of it, now he fights one. Sekai's has fallen. Selangor looking for the clapback.
Innocent walking up, Susujin with the damage. Over now, spatial migration from Yums. Unable to connect. Skyler, one last crit is all he needs. Innocent gets back to the base in time.
The conceal, allowing for faster movements, allowing for a re-engage, and now Susujin blasting them all. Yums the last one left. Immortality out, and that's a wipeout.
Rins! Gila Rins! An equalizer from the Kings of Kings.
Satu the score. We have a ball game.
RRQ Hoshi with the equalization in game number 2. And just like that, I mean, we kind of knew it was, we all predicted it was going to go all games.
Kadita banget. How did SRG not see this coming? We've seen it a couple of times in the Swiss, but now in the knockouts, what a breakout performance by Rins.
I think we got to throw it to the panel for this.
I hope they talk about the Kadita plenty.